The river itself, when I think of it, it brings sentiments of home and ancestors and a rich history of our people that is still thriving today.
So the Nansemond River is our ancestral life force. It was the center of our villages. It was our means of survival, sustenance, transportation.
We lived, we breathed, we were surrounded by water, so it was just in our nature to be water people.
We named this site Matnocktown because it's very close to one of our ancestral settlements that had the same name. And this place is very important to us because it's our only access to the river. We have timeless cultural connections to oysters and oyster reefs. It's always been something that we wanted to reconnect to. We just didn't know how to start. Our project with Chesapeake Bay Foundation has really helped us to learn where we are and establish a baseline to see, what has happened here at this site, what do we need to do to restore it, and how can we build partnerships. Starting with the oyster garden has been great. We have our oyster cages out on the creek and we've checked on them. We see other little critters.
We know as indigenous people, we are the stewards of this land, and we have an obligation to keep its resources pristine, clean, and to honor that as our ancestors did. We partner with Chesapeake Bay Foundation and with the Nansemond River Preservation Alliance. It was a phenomenal collective experience, placing substrates and reef balls and different types of oyster preservation units on the shoreline.
The Nansemond Indian Nation have been stewards of the Nansemond River and by extension oyster populations for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years. So we're so very happy to have them as part of this coalition.
It's something that we are passionate about, that we want to make sure that we do everything we can to make the river better for our future generations.
When we think about what's happened to the big, expansive subtidal oyster reefs and how they've been dredged and deconstructed, it's very similar to what's happened to us as a people. So as we work to rebuild the oyster population, we're also working to restore our relationship to the land and to the water, and to be in spaces that our ancestors would have been in as a way to spiritually reconnect ourselves and to stay focused on the things that really matter.